What's up, guys? Sean here, coming at y'all with a quick little video. Going to be talking about the 76ers again today. LeBron James's decision. It seems like he's kind of on the fence about where he's going to go. We're going to dig into Jaylen Brown a little bit more. How did we get him and how were we able to dump Paul George's contract? Even after we had offered other teams a first-round pick to try and dump his contract, we still got Jaylen Brown for the price that we did. Absolutely unbelievable. But first, if you're new here, please like, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates moving forward. We're going to be covering more NBA news, NFL news, everything that happens, we'll be talking about it. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. I want to start this before we do anything else by saying prayers up to Chris Johnson. His fight with ALS, absolutely devastating. You're seeing players and people from all around the NFL circles, just athletes, coming out showing their support, doing the ice bucket challenge. Just put him in your prayers and your thoughts, and I appreciate that. Let's get into the video. So before we dig in too much to the Jaylen Brown side of things, the trade, how it went down, now that everything's absolutely official, we know that nobody's going to fail a physical, that Jaylen Brown is absolutely going to be a 76er this year. I want to dig into that, but before we do, we obviously still have to talk about LeBron. Lately, it's starting to look like it's more going to be Cleveland or Golden State. Basically, do you think you can win now with Cleveland? Or do you want to go have some fun with Golden State and play out your last year, 2 years, whatever it might be, with Steph Curry? Obviously, both of those options, absolutely legendary for LeBron, but I think there's a little bit of a flaw there, and I want to dig into it a little bit because there's something that's been nagging me that I've been meaning to talk about. As it pertains to LeBron going back to Cleveland, if you really dig into the board here, and you look closely and you think about the production last year, how these players played together, what they do well, what they don't do well. You go back to the playoffs and it seemed like Harden couldn't buy a bucket. Now, he came in late. You can blame it on whatever you want. I think Father Time is undefeated and Harden is just getting to that point where the creation is becoming harder. He still has that guy inside of him that can go out and drop ridiculous numbers. It's just not going to be nightly anymore. He's going to be ball dominant. He's going to want to distribute. And he's really not shooting first as far as we've seen in Cleveland up to this point. And if he is, it's terrible shots at that. Mitchell just hasn't played defense. A lot of ugly play in the postseason. Mobley and Allen, when Allen is good, Mobley is an absolute non-factor and you can't really count on him for anything. And then the exact same way the other way around. There haven't been a lot of games recently that I can think of and what I was looking at stats-wise where both of them have really played up to their potential. And then you slide LeBron into that lineup. You get a lack of three-point, shooting. I know Mobley is a little bit of a shooter, but you're not getting a good three-point spread. Teams are just going to kind of zone out the paint, try to create a wall, and it's just going to make scoring really tough. So I just don't really see the fit. I understand the talent, the names that are there. I know Mobley could be an unbelievable player. I know Allen is a great center. Harden obviously has done what Harden's done over his career. He deserves respect for what he's done in the past. But if we're being realistic and we're talking about 2026, I just don't think that Harden and Mitchell is the guard rotation that's going to take LeBron to another championship. I think they would have an awesome season. I think throughout the year they would play well. You'd see ups, you'd see downs, but they would have a good year. But I genuinely don't think that this team goes 6 games against the Knicks the way the Knicks are right now. What is the point of joining that team if your first matchup is against New York and then they go out and they continue what they did last year, this year? It just doesn't make sense. Obviously, you've got the Heat, you've got Timberwolves, and you've got Denver here. I don't think Denver's really an option. I don't think the Heat is actually an option. I don't think it makes any sense. I think they're at very least a year or two away. The Timberwolves are actually the one that if it was me personally, I think that's your best bet. You still have the Spurs, you still have the Thunder, but with that kind of talent and LeBron at the center of all of it, I think that's actually the smartest pick out of all of them. Now, a lot of rumblings lately that he could just go to the Warriors and just have fun with Steph. Again, awesome in the regular season, but you get to the postseason, and I just don't think it's a recipe for success for anyone there. I think Steph needs as much help defensively and extra shooting around him as possible to just get him to the playoffs where he can then get hot and he can do what Steph does and he can carry the team the rest of the way there. But he's going to need a lot of help throughout the season. He has Jimmy Butler, kind of a defensive anchor there. We'll see what happens with Draymond Green's contract. You imagine he's coming back at a lower number if he hasn't already. What it really boils down to is the fit. LeBron fits best in Philly. He slides into that power forward spot. Dean Wade takes a bench role. You then have the rookie on the bench. You have Simons on the bench. You have guys that you can move around. You have one more roster spot. I think you could make a lot of noise with this roster the way it stands right now. Again, when it gets time to go to the playoffs and play the Knicks, do we think any of these Eastern Conference teams can beat them? Surely somebody has a shot. I imagine the Knicks are not going to be as hot this year during the playoffs as they were last year. But then again, they're bringing pretty much everybody back. Minimal changes here and there. Andre Drummond fills in at center, so they'll continue to have a little bit of a defensive presence and a great rebounder. And the rest of the guys can just do what they did this year. So it doesn't really change much. I think LeBron to Philly is your best bet at an Eastern Conference Finals. Any further than that, it's anybody's bet. I don't like the Cleveland fit. I don't like any of the other fits. I don't think most of the teams have what LeBron needs. And if he really, really, really wanted to win a guaranteed ring, he would have already signed with the Knicks, the Spurs, the Thunder, one of those three teams with LeBron, and you're going to win another ring because he's going to be that last piece any of those teams need to get them over the hump to take them where they want to go. So for LeBron, it's boom or bust. I think there's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of maybes around everybody, but just come to the Sixers. Let's just end this now, right?
The trade that sent shockwaves across the NBA.
Shaking the basketball world. Like, whoa. This is earth. I don't even know where
You think the Sixers are happy they got Jaylen?
The guy's a stud. The guy's an NBA Finals MVP. One of the best two-way
Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown.
Best in scoring, rebounding, and assists in a season where he finished sixth in the MVP voting.
He's won more than any player in the league since he's been in the league.
All-NBA star Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's fire.
Jaylen Brown, the newest 76er. This is really awesome.
Absolute fire.
If I'm a Sixers fan, I'm pretty pumped.
I'm juiced.
The city is embracing it. I'm going to earn everything. I don't need no special treatment. Just throw the ball up and let's get it.
So everybody in Boston has been losing their mind the past couple of days. It's been kind of great to watch. I have lived through one of the most insufferable periods of Boston fans, and this is just hilarious to watch unfold. No matter what happens with LeBron, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Jaylen Brown is a mean trio. We're not talking about Embiid's health. We're not talking about Dean Wade contributing. We're not talking about Phylon having rookie contributions to the team and being really good. We're talking about just those three players. Every night that they play up to their standard, the way that they can play, the Sixers have a shot against anybody because you can put the best teams in the league. They have a 1 who's going to handle most of everything, and then they have a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. You know, there's a pecking order for every team. And if you line this team up, I don't care if you put Jaylen Brown 1 or Tyrese Maxey 1, that pecking order, as you get down the list, the Sixers are going to make so much noise this year. I think he is going to come to this town hungry. I think he's going to come in ready to work. I do not think that this is an Al Horford situation. This is nothing like that. We're getting him in the prime of his career. He is just getting better and better and better. He wanted a team last year. He wanted to make a run. Jason Tatum's hurt. That's fine. I'm still here. You know, you still got all these guys here. Derek White, you know, Peyton Pritchard. You still trust these guys, right? You're a development group, right? So bring in a couple pieces and let's run it. And they wouldn't do it for him. And then Tatum comes back, takes over all the ball dominant stuff. You know, the whole system looks different. And Jaylen shut down. I mean, what do you expect? And now he comes to Philly and he understands that Tyrese don't care. I'll be Robin or I'll be Batman. Whatever I got to be tonight, that's what I'm going to be. VJ Edgecombe, I'll go get rebounds all night. If that's all I can do to help this team win, I'm going to go get rebounds. You know, I'm going to assist. I'm going to score in the paint. I'm going to shoot threes. Whatever the team needs, I'm going to do. And I trust VJ with that job every night. Elite defense, elite rebounding from a guard. I trust VJ with everything. Embiid is going to give you 30 games through the regular season. You know, maybe he'll be healthy for a playoff series. But I think those three players with Adem Bona and Dean Wade could be a top 5 seed, top 4 seed this year in the NBA. And then when they get to the playoffs, you've seen what Maxey's going to do. We've seen what VJ's going to do. We're going to get at least a couple games out of Embiid. You know, those guys can win with decent role players around them. We've watched it for years. We've watched Embiid carry bums to the playoffs every year. Ben Simmons, who won't shoot, you know, some Saudi Arabian slam dunk contest winner, who we then gave a ridiculous, a 3-year extension to for no reason, Korkmaz. Like, he's taken nobodies. And I think Embiid, whether he's here or not, it's not going to matter. Tyrese Maxey and Jaylen Brown are going to take this team to the postseason. Then it's just a question of what they do next. So I'm not even worried about that at all. Jaylen's hyped. The city's hyped. This was fire. Now I'm going to be a little bit of a hypocrite here. I hate when people bring players onto their team and then all the fans go, look at these highlights from 2 years ago. Because normally you're bringing in some 35-year-old who can't shoot. His knees are blown out. His back's broke. Something don't work right anymore. We got Jaylen while he's still in his prime. He was doing this shit 2 years ago, and he will still be doing this 2 years from now, barring anything catastrophic. All right? I know how good of a player he is because I've watched him torch the Sixers so many times. I know exactly what he's capable of, good and bad. This right here, this was him at his best. When he's locked in, the lights are shining bright. This is what he looks like, and this is what he can do.
Can't casually double team unexpectedly, because that's when Boston's so dangerous.
Brown on the steal and slam. 38 years old, Al Horford. And that's what makes Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum so dynamic. As Jaylen
Just
Brown
too easy. He was playing unbelievable defense. People forget, this is where the lazy Luka shit came from. He played such good defense. This whole team played such good defense, but we're watching Jaylen right now, but they played such good defense that the Mavericks traded Luka because they were like, well, this motherfucker's lazy. No, he wasn't lazy. He was getting clamped. There's a difference. So, remember that when you're watching these highlights. This is Luka fucking Doncic, the best player in the NBA, according to so many people. And, these are highlights of our new guy when he's locked in and he's serious.
Doncic throws it up. Jones can't quite get it. Cleveland does. There's Hardaway.
Look at that. Look at that defense all the way around. Jaylen just waited for it. Just waited for it. Another thing I never remember about Jaylen Brown is how big he is until you see him up against other big players. He just stood in the paint. He didn't, that wasn't anything crazy. He just waited. Great rotation defense from everybody else, moving, doing what they got to do. He just waited. And then as soon as he got a shot, bang. And he's not a block guy. If he can do that in the big moments, that's exactly what you're looking for.
Maligned over the last couple days. That's the engagement I was talking about. Derek Jones gets inside but misses. Brown comes up with it.
Kind of a flop there, but okay.
Contain the ball, and Boston is just relentlessly attacking off the drive.
Irving shot block.
Again, he is not a shot blocker,
Jaylen Brown, a defensive
but he knew what needed to be done.
Derek Jones with the rejection. Here's Irving. Washington drives. Blocked by White. Oh, what a block from Derek White. Well, Tatum in the paint right now, just getting whatever he wants, particularly against mismatches. It's the rebound.
He was so smart in the lane. He's just watching the ball. He knows there's someone behind him. Keep him close. Make sure you feel him, but eyes in the lane every step of the way.
That's his fourth of those. As it poked away, stolen.
He was behind. Normally, as a Sixers fan, when one of our guys is behind, we'll see them after the other team scores and we run the ball back up. That's just unbelievable hustle.
By Jaylen Brown. Here's Horford. Inside, Holiday banks it in. Defense leading to offense for the Celtics. 6 on the 24. Kleber blocked by Brown. Right back to Kleber.
How big is Kleber again? Dude's, he's tall. Looks pretty big compared to Al Horford. That's a hell of a block.
And then lost it out. Great defensive play. Already got some very important minutes in the conference finals against Minnesota. Can't score there as Cleveland knocks it out of bounds. Great defense from Drew Holiday. Doncic drives, throws it up. Bang shot won't go.
He was looking for a foul. Flopping.
Doncic thought he got bumped there. On the inbounds, 29.8 remaining. Doncic flips it over the rim. Shot no good. Rebound.
That's wild. That's probably a foul, but that was a wild from behind block. I mean, in a game that's pretty close, but that's wild.
Holiday into the
long term. There's another level for Luka, both in terms of conditioning, but also mentality. The lack of getting frustrated with the pitch.
A little late there, but good defense.
Not missing possessions, 'cause there's a guy.
Doncic has to run it down. Brown starts on him. Doncic had a massive first half and starts that one
In and out.
that one halfway
Good
down.
defense, but in and out.
The Celtics
They really had Jaylen on Luka like
to start.
the whole time.
Doncic trying to draw a foul. Horford the rebound and traffic. An enormous part of this turnaround for the Mavericks. Doncic step back three. Brown able to hold on.
He got up there for that one.
Doncic with Sam Hauser. Spins, lost it. Brown picks it up. Okay, Lee Doncic kicks it out in the corner. Irving back up. Tim Hardaway Jr. early points. Nope. Missed the shot, but early minutes for Hardaway Jr. Missed a game in the conference finals with a neck injury, but back and healthy. Irving
Kyrie.
throws it up and a travel. Kyrie
Still so gross though. Kyrie's so good. He's still so good. So obviously the whole team was playing amazing defense. I mean, it was just a hell of a run for the Celtics, that year. But Jaylen Brown on Luka, so much, and doing such a good job. I mean, he can really guard 1 to 4 comfortably. And yeah, he's not the fastest, biggest, strongest, but he is so versatile. And it just showed all throughout that. The rebounding, the blocking, all the little things in that clip. Just outside of scoring, he can score, but being able to do all that too, just unbelievable performance. All right, so obviously Jaylen Brown stuff is official. Josh Harris, Mike Gansey both put out statements today. We'll start with Josh Harris. I am incredibly excited to welcome the 5-time NBA All-Star and 2024 Finals MVP Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers. Managing partner Josh Harris said, throughout his career, Jaylen has proven to be one of the best two-way players in the league. He knows what it takes to win at the highest levels, and I can't wait to see him alongside Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe. I also want to thank Paul for his contributions during his time in Philadelphia. Paul and his family were active in our community, and we are appreciative of their time and impact here. I am appreciative that Paul George still has value in this league to somebody, because I still can't believe this is real. Mike Gansey, his statement today, Jaylen has proven himself as one of the league's top players year after year. He is a dynamic playmaker with versatile skill sets that positively impacts the game on both ends of the floor. His wealth of experience, high basketball IQ, poise, and leadership will benefit this franchise for years to come. A perennial all-star and all-NBA talent, Jaylen also has a special ability to elevate his game when on the brightest of stages, as evidenced by his World Championship and Finals MVP selection. We couldn't be happier to officially welcome him as a 76er. Even ownership and the GM, you can just tell from their statement that they're still like, I can't believe this is real. Is this really real life? Has this really happened to us? It's like a pinch me, I'm dreaming thing. Because hey, say what you will about Jaylen Brown the person. Jaylen Brown the basketball player is so good. He's so good. And it gets me so hyped for this season. We thought we were dead this year, that it was just run it back, let's go again. And it was such a smack in the face in the best way possible. Last thing here we'll dig into, final compensation for the trade, which I've been excited to see myself. A 2028 first round pick, the LA Clippers own that. If it is top 16, instead it becomes the unprotected right for Boston to swap its currently held 2028 first round pick, the worst of Boston and San Antonio's, with the better of the LA Clippers, and if Philadelphia is in the top 8. Philadelphia's 2028 first-round pick. Philadelphia's 2031 unprotected first-round pick, nice and simple. The most favorable 2028 second-round pick among Golden State, Milwaukee, or Oklahoma City. The more favorable 2030 second-round pick among Phoenix, Portland, or Washington's. And then here, since Brown entered the league in 2016-17 season, his 523 combined wins across the regular season and NBA playoffs ranks first across the league. I'm excited to begin this next chapter in Philly. From every conversation I've had, it's clear this is a group that's hungry, competitive, and committed to winning, and that's the kind of environment I've always embraced. I've always believed that success comes from sacrifice, accountability, and putting the team above yourself. I'm looking forward to building with this group, earning the trust of my teammates, and chasing something special together, Brown said. Off the court, I'm just as excited to become part of the Philly community. Throughout my career, I believe that basketball can be a catalyst for creating real impact, and I'm eager to continue expanding the work of the Seven Oos Foundation, Juice Foundations. I don't know what the fuck that is. Foundation investing in youth education and opportunities that leave a lasting difference. I'm grateful for this opportunity and I'm ready to get to work. Hashtag throw the ball up. Guys, I'm stoked. I'm pumped. All of it's amazing. It's been fantastic. Jaylen is saying all the right things. You could tell he's hesitant. Obviously, 10 years with Boston. How can you not be a little hesitant? It's going to be weird. It's going to be new. Philly is a big transition from where he was in Boston. So there's probably a lot going on behind the scenes that we're not even seeing right now, but still saying all the right things, doing all the right things. Incredibly pumped for this lineup this year. Like I said before, I think that Maxey, VJ, and Jaylen Brown are going to be a lethal trio. I don't think that there's going to be a lot that other guys on the team are going to have to do this year. If we get some healthy Embiid, that's fantastic. Maybe he blows us all away. He's healthy this season. Maybe he gets traded. I really feel like with Gansey, the way he's running things right now, maybe it happens. Maybe ownership actually has a soft spot for him and they want to keep him around. But with the moves that have been made up to this point, it's obvious that this team is ready to win with or without him on the court. We're just hoping that it's a with. Unlikely, but we can still hope. But that's it for me, guys. I appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for sticking through this. I love y'all. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe, hit the bell. That way you don't miss any of this content moving forward. We'll be back tomorrow, the next day. We got another film breakdown coming for the Eagles. Going to be covering any news if it comes out between now and then. But with that being said, I love you guys. Have a great day.